We're back for another gym vlog, and we'll be talking about mentality on mistakes, but alongside with that, we're gonna be setting up these new obstacles here at JumpTwist that we just got from Stage 4 Designs. This is not sponsored. We actually purchased these. So I'm excited to put them up because I actually failed this obstacle at Ninja Nation's WNL comp. And the way this obstacle works is this board is stationary while these on the sides close, and they're on cliffhangers here. So you can see there, pretty thick cliffhangers, but they're still cliffhangers that are tough to hold. We got 3 of them. We're gonna put them up while talking about some mistakes because today didn't actually start off great, but we're still here, and I just wanna show that everyone has off starts of their day, and it's our job to control the rest of our day. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we got to do here is actually take down the obstacles because I'm going to put them up here. We're going to just take this down, just do a bar lache. And I brought my handy dandy ladder, which you guys seem to really enjoy in the comment sections of my last gym vlog. Oh shit, whoa. Apparently it was very funny and kept you guys on edge, so definitely had to bring it back. But like I was saying in the intro, when we're talking about controlling our day, and I gotta go up one, duh. See, all about mistakes. Mistakes happen. You know, the start of the day today didn't go as planned. And what I mean by that is had a slow start in the morning, and then I ended up getting all my things ready. I got breakfast, came to the gym, started unpacking my camera equipment, and then wouldn't you know, I left my mics at home. And my house is roughly 18 minutes away. So if you think about it, I spent 30 minutes of just traveling in the car to fix a mistake. And I'm pretty sure you guys can't even see my head from here. You know, mistakes happen. Forgetting my mics at home to spend 18 minutes of travel time there and then 18 minutes back. You know, we go over a little 30 minutes extra, and that's definitely not how I want to start my day. Traffic was crazy. Someone almost hit me. And, you know, it could be very easy to snowball having a bad day. But like I talk to a lot of people when they're not feeling the best, is that it's not about having a bad day. Because I don't have bad days. I just have bad moments. And that's what I'm taking it as. I always think everything happens for a reason. So me forgetting my mics, having to drive back home to come back here after I was like set in mindset to like just start going and getting my day started. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe I was supposed to stay a little longer because I don't know what was coming next, right? That's at least how I process things. And I think that for me personally, that's like the best way for me to do that, to be able to handle when bad moments happen. It's like the simplest way to do it. And sorry that I'm giving you guys my back here, but I gotta make sure that I do this right and I don't drop it. If you guys are watching this at home, kids, don't do this on a ladder like I'm doing right now. Last time I almost fell with this ladder, which is pretty funny, but you know, sometimes you gotta live and learn on how things work. And obviously will always be easier to do some of this stuff with somebody around. Woo, like that. And there you go. This thing is actually very heavy, but you gotta make do with what you got. I like doing these gym vlogs because it gives me a chance to get personal with you guys. Just kind of highlight some things that happen in the moment and be really authentic. You know, I feel like authenticity is so hard to find these days because everyone's trying so hard to be perfect and trying so hard to be social media famous and whatever else crap is going on in the world that people forget that we're human. And with us being human, we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna have bad moments, but what I'm here to tell you guys and remind you guys that you have full control of what happens next. Whatever's in the past is in the past. I made a mistake. Left my mic at home, but I fixed it by going to go get it. Now, it did cost me time, and hey, in order to get something, you gotta give something, right? So with me forgetting my mic, it cost me a little bit of time, but what's the alternative? Me not doing this video, right? Or saving it for another day. So if I have to spend 30 minutes, 35 minutes of driving to be able to make this video, hey, it's a price I'm willing to pay, you know? Okay, so first things first here, I am gonna take this down on this one. So now I have my bar lache, which I just put up. On this one, I'm gonna tear this down real quick. And then I'm going to move this bar slightly closer because I'm not putting a trapeze bar or an obstacle on that bar. So it's not gonna get us as close as it would putting, you know, some kind of bar swing or some kind of obstacle that swings. So I do wanna get this a little bit closer. Let me get my drill. You know, I've grown to really enjoy this part of the job where I get to set up obstacles in different combinations. Whenever we get new obstacles, I'm super grateful for. My boss is pretty awesome, if I say so myself, and she was very generous with these new obstacles, because ninja obstacles, I don't know if you guys know, are not cheap, so you got to be grateful for what you have. It's obviously easier to compare to other gyms and be like, oh, well, they always get new obstacles and all this and that, and it's so easy to compare ourselves to somebody else. But the thing is, like, no matter what you do, like for example, if you go to like a LA Fitness or some kind of regular gym, you can look to your left, you're gonna see someone who's not as fit as you. Look to your right, you can see someone who's way more fit than you. So comparing yourself to someone's always gonna be the wrong choice, you know? So, and that's something that I would love to teach my kids as time goes on, you know, because I feel like a lot of my elite kids are always comparing themselves all the time. You know, I had conversations with Tiago as an example about, like, everyone always talks about, oh, how would Tiago do it, right? Because Tiago's easily one of the best ones in the gym, right? Because his technique is really, really amazing. But everyone's always like, well, I can't do it because Tiago could do it, but that's because it's Tiago, right? They don't see like the hard work and the grind that he's put in over the years before he came to this gym. It's always easier to compare and be like, oh, well, they just always been that great or whatever. Like no one, like Marky never saw Tiago grind up. I know Ian did, because Ian and Tiago came up together, but it's just interesting when you compare yourself side by side to somebody. You know, you got to remember that there's much more to the world than that, and not everybody is you. And that's the biggest common denominator I'm trying to give everyone, is no matter what you see other people doing, they're never ever gonna be you. Now, I know you want to be as good as somebody, and that's great to get pushed and motivated. You always got to remember that no one's going to be you, and you are unique, and you, no matter what kind of mistakes you make, those are your mistakes. So the best thing you can always do is just own up to them and try to be better. Whoa, see, almost. Gotta love the ladder, it keeps you on your toes. All right, so, all right, now we're going to put this bottom bar up. There we go. All right, there we go, nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna get the bar. I'm gonna put that up and see if this is perfectly aligned. I'm super excited for this lane. This lane's probably gonna be one of my most favorite lanes. This is the first time we get stage 4 obstacles in the gym. The quality of this obstacle is freaking incredible. So I'm hoping once I put it up, it'll be even better. So my mentality on this is that this is all new obstacles to the gym. So anything new, I always try to put up easier for everyone to like get the understanding of it and how it works. And then as the weeks come, I'll make it harder. Along with my mistakes, personally, I got into the or when I first started, I was like, oh, I need to make like the most crazy, hardest obstacles ever. Not true at all. Because what happens is when you make something so hard, it discourages people. It's kind of like social media. Social media discourages people all the time with comparison, all that, even though I talked about comparison a little bit already. People always compare themselves to others, especially when it's an obstacle they can't get. But I always want to introduce new obstacles at an easier level for people to grasp, to get to feel successful. Because the truth is that most of the team, they don't think they're as good as I know they are. And they could do so much more if they actually like knew how good they actually were. You know what I mean? So it's my job to highlight those moments, and knowing how my kids are, especially when it comes to their behavior, plays actually a really big role in how I coach. Because you can only coach someone as well as you know them, you know? You got to know their strength, their weaknesses, their body language, when they're scared of something, when they're not, you know, when they're having a good day or a bad day. Because again, we're all human, so all of that plays a big effect on us. You know, if we're having a bad day, they're having a bad day, and I'm having a bad day. If we don't know how to let that go and understand that one thing has something to do with the other, and we just start lashing out, you know, just because that's how human beings are, we're emotional creatures, then those are two big mistakes that are just going to cause more damage than good, you know? And that would never be my go-to. it's all about knowing each person and also knowing myself, more importantly. Because if I know the type of person that I am, then that means I know what kind of coach I could be for them. And a lot of my decisions in life is really based off of how do I want my team to be? How do I want them to act as human beings, you know? It's so easy to just be, oh, I'm an adult, I'll do whatever I want, you know? But the fact is, if you're a coach, you'll know this. If you're a coach, you know that your team is watching everything you do, and everything you do is going to give them a green light to be that or to do that thing, you know? So if you're going to be a person who talks about drama and all you can do is talk about other people, then guess what that's going to give a green light to everybody else, right? And I've been a huge person for leading by example, and I've learned a lot. You know, I'm not perfect by any means, but I have learned that the team, when you're a coach, they watch you so closely. They watch you so close, and down to like what you wear, what kind of haircut you get, they're watching. You know, as much as, you know, that is a big responsibility, most people don't take it, but I do. I take that responsibility. And don't get it wrong, I'm not making millions or anything like that. But what I am saying is, if I want my kids to be the best in the world, it doesn't start with the gym. It actually starts with who they are. And mistakes is the number one thing. Oh crap, I forgot to get the I forgot to get it. God dang it, to lock this up. Okay, so I gotta redo this and come down. The kind of people that I want to show them they can be and who I am is someone who owns up to the mistakes when they make them, and someone who does right and stands for something that they believe in, you know? I have gotten myself in quite tough situations fighting for what I believe is right. It's definitely not the easiest thing to do, because people tell me, well, if you do that, there's a lot that's gonna come with that, you know? And they're correct. But at the end of the day, my North Star will always be, how do I want my team to be as people? Do I want them to start doing the right thing even when it's hard to do? Yeah. So that means I have to do the right thing even when it's hard to do. I think we live in a world where controversy is a big topic, and most people don't want to mix. They don't want to get in the mix, you know? And I think when it comes to tough situations and real life situations and doing what's right versus wrong, I think more people take the easy way out because they don't want to get disliked or hated or talked about. And I just don't believe that's the right way to live. So I lead by example. Okay. Oops. All right, so we're back. I got the tool that I need, and we're gonna put this bad boy up. I also feel like everyone thinks things happen overnight, and they don't. You know, people always want things so quickly, and I don't think that works, because nothing happens overnight. You have to work for it. You're gonna have to try things, and that's why I'm so big on making mistakes, and not only making them, but owning them. And the reason is because you can't be successful at something without those mistakes. You know, there's plenty of mistakes that I've made in putting obstacles up, as an example. Before I started filming it, because this is only my second gym vlog, and mistakes are common in any aspect. You know, learning how to not crush a truss, for example, you know, which I've done once or twice before. You don't know that until you start putting clamps on truss, because personally for me, no one taught me how to do any of this specifically for Ninja. I've learned through like doing stunts. I did a lot of stunts for movies, TV shows. With that, I've learned a lot, because a lot of the stuff that we had to put up, we typically have somebody's life on the line, you know? They're flying over a big gap. They're going over a car. They're getting hit by a car and they're on a wire. We're doing explosions, which we need the wire to make sure it doesn't fail, you know? Perfect. The bar doesn't hit it. Seems to be pretty straight. I'm gonna tighten everything up and double check how it looks like, and I'm freaking excited. So maybe I think the only thing, I'll put the whole bar up a little bit, just because I feel like it's a little too low for us adults, maybe not the kids, but anyways, what I'm talking about for the stunts aspect is you got to spend a lot of time perfecting your craft, especially when other people's lives are on the line. And a mistake in that world could be painful, because it is a job and there is risk. That's why there's stunt guys and stunt women who are doing this, because they know the risk and they train really hard. The same as here. I have to train myself to be really good, but that doesn't come without mistakes. And so many people are so scared to make them and own up to them, you know? All right, this is gonna be such a fun obstacle and I can't wait to try it out. And we need I need to set this up. I need to do this whole process 2 more times and then we're good to go. And this will be done. Always double check your work because people are gonna be hanging on this. All right, so we got 1 done. I'm gonna move the ladder so we can see it and nice. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. I'm excited for it. You know, what's been super interesting lately has been creating content for YouTube. And why I say that is because I have this crazy goal. Well, I guess not crazy. I guess every YouTuber will have it. Is to reach 100,000 subscribers, right? And I'm thinking like, what's gonna be the best way to reach that, you know? Because personally, I want the plaque. I want that little button, the silver button that you could also buy with it. It's just one small goal by the summer or like the end of the summer, something I wanna get to. And I don't know what the best way to do it is. So that's why I started creating this coaching content, going to competitions, really diving into these kids to show them, one, that mistakes can happen. You know, I think it's so easily that some of us can forget our emotions when things are going completely wrong, right? And what I mean by that is when we go to competition and competition doesn't go so well. They start crying or whatever, and then come practice in a few days, they already forgot what happened there, which is great because I don't want them to live back there. But what I do want them to remember is that we only can get better from learning from our mistakes. So when we're in the gym and we start practicing, we start training as hard as we can, they got to remember why we're training so hard to be the best that we can. And in the moment of our workouts and all of this, it's so easy to go, oh yeah, but no, it'll be all right. That same mistake won't happen again. And that is not true. And they keep learning the same mistake over and over again. And my goal is one day for them to click, because obviously everybody's a little different. And I want them to understand that they can be better as long as they do the work. And most people get applause in public for all the work they do in private. And that is a concept that I'm trying to get them to understand. Everyone just sees LeBron James winning basketball games. They only see, you know, the winners, whoever's winning Ninja. They don't see the hard work that they're putting into it. And that's why I really want to put out the YouTube video and these contents, because I want them to see where they were and where they got to through all of that hard work. And I think for me personally, that's going to be the best way to put out content, because it's something that I'm very passionate for and I love to do it. And I want to share my love and my passion for it with everyone. And if that means consistency, discipline, and me reaching a few people in the world who like my content, then perfect, then great. If I never get 100,000 subs, it's also okay too. But what I do know for a fact is I'll never reach 100,000 subscribers if I don't try. And that is so powerful in itself, when understanding that when you get in the game, the only way to make the game-winning shot is by playing in the game. Can you miss the game-winning shot? Yes. Will you miss the shot? Probably. But if you take enough game-winning shots, I'll say at some point you're gonna get it. You know, that's my opinion, though. Definitely my opinion. I've studied enough of the greats in sports to know that Michael Jordan is praised for being Michael Jordan. And all the game-winning shots that he missed, people already forgot. But the ones that they didn't forget about are the ones that he made. And that right there is so powerful. You know how many people would rather sit in the stands than be in the game? Because they don't want to take the chance to be bad or to make a mistake, to miss the shot. And that is not what I'm teaching here. That is not what I'm trying to build my elite team to be. If you want to be great, if you want to be amazing, you want to be immaculate, you have to do what the average is not willing to do. So. Oh, I just smashed my finger. Fudge. Come on, it's almost up. Oh, there you go. Thank God. Woo! Mistakes were made. Perfect. Bingo. Okay, so small mistake, because I've never put this obstacle up before. This first one to the second one, that distance is pretty far. This obstacle is a lot harder than it seems. I didn't like test it out in a sense. I tested it out for weight, and then looking at from 1 to 2, I was like, man, that seems pretty far. So I tried to throw the lache there without actually like committing to grabbing it because the ladder's in the way. That throw is pretty freaking hard. And if I'm gonna set up another one, I think I gotta move this closer because this is way too far. So now, reason why I'm saying it is because I want to show that everyone can make a mistake, or you can have an idea and it not play out the way it does in real life as opposed to how it did in your head. In my head, roughly 6 feet should be a pretty good lache throw, and it's just too much for this obstacle in my opinion, for everyone in the elite team. Mind you, maybe there's a few of them that can do it, but this is actually pretty hard lache to do, and introduction should not be that hard. So I'm excited to say that what I thought in my brain didn't work out how I thought here, because now I get to learn about these obstacles. And while setting up these obstacles, not only am I learning how to set it up and the functions of it, but it's also helping me how to coach it better, because we've never seen this inside of JumpTwist, this kind of obstacle. So I haven't coached this style of obstacle before. So with that being said, in my mind thinking it worked one way and now in real life it works a different way, I have to be true to myself and go, oh, it's not, I made the mistake. It's not that I think they can't do it. I just think it's too hard, especially if it's introducing a new style of obstacle. So what I'm gonna do is just move that closer, and then it should be much doable. Okay, so mistake fix. Now we're gonna just do a real simple just throw test. I'm not gonna try it, but I just wanna make sure it's doable. So here. Yeah, see, that's way more doable on that aspect. So mistake learned. I thought too big, and I just had to fix it. Took me about 7 minutes, probably 7 to 10 minutes to squish everything together, or to move that closer, should I say. And there you go. See, mistake happened, fixed it, and we keep moving forward. Let's do the last setup. Okay, so reason why I wanted to talk about mistakes is because I think, my opinion, is the best relationship you can have is the relationship to yourself. I think that's the most important relationship you have. I think that's the one you gotta prioritize the most, because if you have a poor relationship with yourself, you're always just gonna make everything else around you like, I don't wanna sound mean when I say it, but the only thing you're gonna be able to do is not help people around, right? It's gonna be mediocre at best if you don't have a really great relationship with yourself. So you have to know yourself inside and out. You gotta learn what your purpose is and figure out what you want to do in the world, so that way you can have a North Star. I think having a North Star is the most important thing you could ever do as a human being, because without a North Star, then you're just lost, which also being lost is not the end of the world. Being lost, you know, gives you an opportunity to explore. I don't think being lost in life is a bad thing at all. On the contrary, I think a lot of us, if not all of us, need to be lost sometimes, so we know what we like and what we don't like, where we want to travel to, where we don't want to travel to, you know? And I think knowing yourself is so important, man. Like, I spent so much time trying to learn myself, figure myself out, and I couldn't do that without my mentor. You know, I think it's very important to understand that you can't do everything by yourself. That's just not how that works. And I thought that I could for the longest of time, until I met my mentor, Sly. And when I met Sly, he taught me so much. Like, I could literally make a whole hour's worth of video talking about what I've learned from him. I think that's super powerful, super important. And to understand that you don't need to have a mentor who is a celebrity or somebody that the world looks up to. I think having a mentor, it's all about who you look up to and why. And the reason why personally, like, I like having Sly as my mentor is, one, when he started coaching me for American Ninja Warrior, he was the guy that I wanted to be like. What I mean by that is, he's still the guy I kind of want to be like, to be honest with you. They say you are the 5 people closest to you, or the 5 closest people you hang around with. And Sly is someone I thoroughly enjoy hanging out with, because he is so disciplined, and anything he wants, he like chases it no matter what, you know? And that is not an easy trait to come by in somebody. And Sly has always been super determined. Not only that, works really hard for anything he has in his life. Good example is he wants to be fit, right? Or not wants to be, he is fit. And because he's fit, everyone thinks, oh, he's so disciplined and so this and so that. Don't get it wrong. I know for a fact there are days where he doesn't want to go to the gym. I know for a fact there are days where he wants to eat ice cream and cookies. But he also knows that if he's able to cave in to those kind of things all the time, he's not going to be the man that he wants to be. And I've learned so much through his actions that's why I take leading by example so powerful. And without that man, I'll tell you right now, I would not be the guy I am today. I would not have spoken out about my trauma on American Ninja Warrior. I wouldn't have spoken about my trauma to hundreds and thousands of people. I literally did public speaking in a conference room of all therapists. And keep in mind, I didn't do therapy, you know what I mean? So it's been interesting piece to my life having a mentor, and that's why I'm mentioning it now, that having a mentor I think is very powerful, very impactful, and that's what I want to be to my team and to the people in my life. I want to lead by example. So that means I'm going to have to come into the gym and set up a gym, even though I don't need to be, you know. I constantly want to outwork anyone in the coaching ninja world, and that means doing stuff that I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to learn how to set up obstacles. That's not my forte. It's not my thing, right? And I know that about myself. But because of that, because I have a great relationship with myself, I know that if I don't learn this, it's gonna hinder me from being the best coach possible. And I learned that through my mentor, through Sly. Sly does stunts for Hollywood, right? I did stunts for Hollywood because of him, and I did it with him. And I was able to watch him learn the script. He's a stunt guy, he doesn't have lines. Why is he learning the script? Because he wants to know the storyline and how everything works. So when something's needed, he doesn't have to be told what is needed. He just gets it done without being told. And that piece right there, I've watched him make incredible relationships in the Hollywood world simply because he knew what was going on. He took the time and effort to know what's going on, right? Because he is in such a good relationship with himself that he knew his goals, he knew what he had to do, and regardless if he only got 2 hours of sleep or 8 hours of sleep, he knew what his goals were, he knew what his North Star was, he just went for it. And that, watching that happen all the time has led me to understand that you have to lead by example. You can't just talk about it, right? It's so easy to tell one, oh, well, just go on a diet and go to the gym and work out. You know, when you don't do it, it's so easy to say that, right? But when it comes down to it, I would never listen to somebody personally that doesn't have what I want and doesn't do the things that they're telling me to do, right? And that's why I think having a mentor who understands what you want and lines up with the things that you want in life is so incredibly important, in my opinion. It's powerful. It literally changed my life. So a couple of things to like really think about and process, because I think all those things made my life, made the relationship with myself so much better. And the whole point, so getting back to my goals and YouTube and stuff, Sly doesn't necessarily care about YouTube, right? My mentor, but that's not what I'm learning. I'm learning the things that he cares about, the goals that he's trying to go after, how he gets them. And I apply those same things here in Ninja and coaching. Sly has actually offered me a lot of stunt jobs, and he still does because he's my mentor and he always looks out for me to make sure that I'm good with not only how my mental state is and my health is, but he wants to make sure that I'm always good with money as well. Because obviously there's no surprise, there's no money in Ninja, right? But what there is in is purpose, happiness. I wake up every day excited for my day. And I can't tell you how rare that is in today and age. So many people are motivated or inspired, or they only want money or they want power or whatever, but they hate themselves inside. And because I learned that through the Hollywood world, I'd rather be happy, enjoy my life, making maybe not millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I'd rather make the little money that I make with a purpose and joy than have all the money in the world and be alone and unhappy. Content creation is supposed to be about what you're passionate about. I know so many people who are stuck in the content world. They don't know what to do. They're upset that they don't get the views. I only got one long form video over 1,000 views. Does that bother me? Not necessarily. Do I wish I had 1,000 views on every long form video I do? Of course, I'd be a fool not to, right? But what I am falling in love with is the process of this and building a loyal fan base, a community that is gonna be here for the long run. So whenever I make it to 100,000 subs, whenever I make it to the 1 million mark, I know who's real about it and who's not real about it, you know? I'm just passionate about self-improvement. I'm passionate about making an impact in people's lives. And I'm passionate about showing people do the right thing. It's not always the easiest thing to do. So with that being said, that's why I'm making this content. This is why I'm showing the coaching happening in real time, regardless of what happens, whether it's good or bad, that's life. What better way to connect with the community than showing them your authenticity, right? Showing them that life isn't perfect. Life ain't perfect. I'll never say life is perfect. And I'm definitely not perfect. And that's what I want my kids to understand. When I mean my kids, my team, right? I want them to understand that, yeah, listen, you can make all the mistakes in the world. That's not gonna stop me from wanting you on the team. It's not gonna stop me from wanting to be your coach. On the contrary, I've actually had people approach me to be on the team and their skill set was really high and I had to say no because I don't want my quality of coaching to go down because I took on too much, right? Now, don't get it wrong. I would love a bigger team, but I know the right thing to do is to not give less of myself because I want to stack the house and show that, look at me, I have everyone here. Don't get it wrong, it's coming. It's gonna happen one day, I believe in it. I'm working really hard to make sure that it happens. But sometimes the hardest thing to do is the right thing to do. And that is something I can live with. That is leading by example. That is what I want to show my team. It may not be the best idea or the best move, but I can lay my head down at night and sleep with ease because I'm doing what I think is right. And I have such a good relationship with myself about that, about who I am. That's just my thoughts. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on, you know, your life purpose, what your North Star is. Even if you don't have it figured out, maybe say that. When you love something and you're passionate about something, that's got to be your North Star. No matter how unsure you are about yourself, no matter how much you doubt yourself, if whatever goal you're after is something you really, really want, man, like you owe it to yourself to give it everything you got and try. And if it doesn't work out, like we were talking earlier, at least you were willing to get in the game and take that game-winning shot. And I'm not saying you're always gonna make that shot because I sure definitely have it. And if you're a fan of American Ninja Warrior, you know that firsthand. I've had 15 years, 14 years, 13 years, whatever it is, I don't even know anymore, of being on the show. How many seasons? I think I've been on I started from season 3 to what is it? We're season 18. The new one's gonna come out. So out to the world, I'm from season 3 to season 17, I think, right? That's aired, whatever has aired, I've failed every single time. And that is to the public. The reality is I actually became super successful because of it. And why? Because I've impacted so many people's lives through my story, my testimony, my performance, that I think maybe that's really why I was meant to be on American Ninja Warrior, even though I want to win, but maybe the whole purpose of me being on the show was to impact the world. We're almost there to set up the last one. So this means you've made it this far. This video is soon coming to a close, but that just makes this part all the more exciting. Let's adjust this real quick. All right, perfect. That bar is straight. Oh God, I almost fell there. So as we're putting on this last piece, I hope that this video gets you guys to really figure out what kind of relationship you have with yourself truthfully, because it's so easy to lie to ourselves and go, oh yeah, no, I know myself really well. And the reality is a lot of us don't know ourselves amazing. Where I learned that piece actually was from spending a lot of time by myself with no music, no technology, nothing, just me and my thoughts. And you'd be shocked to know that I did not enjoy being by myself for the first 10,000 hours, I would say. Because when you're alone with your thoughts, you start thinking all kind of things, right? And with that, it's not always the best things about yourself, you know? You really get to shine a light on who you think you are. And once you do that, then you're looking in the mirror, and that's where you can fix yourself to be better. Because the reality is, all of us could be better, especially me, should I say, not even me, especially me, because I'm definitely not perfect. And I want to shine a light on that I'm not perfect. And what better way to do it than through these vlogs? I want to take this time to thank every single one of you guys that have been following this journey with me. Probably seen me on American Ninja Warrior, but now you're getting accustomed to still ninja content, but more coaching content, because I think I'm in a place now in the world where competing on American Ninja Warrior doesn't seem to be everything anymore. And that term right there is gonna lead to a lot of conversations I have to have with myself. And I think you guys kind of know where I'm getting at, but I do love the sport. I do love the sport. I do enjoy it very well, or very much, should I say. But more importantly, I enjoy coaching it. I enjoy pushing people to be their best. So much more. Uh-oh. Why is that not undoing? Oopsie. I might have to switch out a clamp here. That's not coming out. Okay, so there's that. So we're gonna go ahead and fix this real quick. I gotta find a new clamp because for some reason that one's not coming out. And my guess is that me trying to take that out right now, it's gonna snap it. It's gonna snap the bolt. So we're gonna try to do it and see if it comes out with my hand, but I doubt it. I already feel the bolt gonna break. Oh man. All right, so just when you think you're done with something, you're not. And this is, again, a part of life right here, you know? You get all this work done just to hit a roadblock, and now you gotta figure out how to fix the problem. Let's try it. All right, I'm taking it down. All right, let's see. It's not moving at all. All right, well, I cannot loosen this to save my life. It's gonna snap. At this point, I'm just ready for it to snap, honestly. All right, and there you go. So now I get to put a whole new clamp on. See? Broke off. Oh well, things happen. What I love about this happening is that real life just happened while I was filming this vlog. And because of that, I get to highlight that and show you guys. And not everything works out as perfectly as you want it to sometimes. All right, back to redoing this work. All right, that's looking pretty good to me. I'm going to check to make sure that's not gonna fall down on somebody. So I'm always a test dummy, which I'm okay with. Nice. All right, we're good. All right, all three of them are up. So now I'm gonna move the ladder around and I'm gonna move the camera so you guys get an angle view, and I'm gonna do all three. In theory, I should warm up, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna test out the whole thing and let's see how it works. As I'm gonna get ready to try this obstacle out, I'm gonna put some chalk on my hands. I'm not a huge fan. I've never been a huge fan of liquid chalk, but True Chalk reached out to me, wanted to get some for the team. And then that led to me being an ambassador after I tried out their product. And will I say that True Chalk liquid is pretty awesome. I definitely wouldn't use it in the middle of a course run, definitely before my course run, definitely not in the middle. But if you guys are interested in trying some True Chalk, make sure to use code FLIP and you'll get 30% off, I believe. So, all right, here we go. I gotta open this. Let's see how this works. All right, let's try this out. Whoa! All right, that worked. Interesting. This is a lot harder obstacle than I thought. There it is. Get out. Woo! Okay, that is a lot harder than I thought. So the pole, I didn't put all the way through so the doors wouldn't smack into the metal pole, right? Because I don't want to damage it. But when it can close completely, there's no like I'm not pushing against anything besides the two doors hitting. And when you swing, or at least when I was swinging, because my swing put more pressure on one door kind of opened and let the other door close in, which makes the obstacle so much harder. That was actually so fun though. I love that. Stage 4. Thank you guys for doing such an incredible job. Again, this is not sponsored by them at all. The gym bought these obstacles, but I love that. I love it. And just figured it'd be cool to do a cool little gym vlog, setting it up, putting it together while talking to you guys about the stuff that I'm passionate about, my mistakes. Making mistakes is being okay. Just kind of trying to shine a light on authenticity, you know? I feel like the world needs more of that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Don't forget that thumbs up, and I would love to hear anything you have to say about this video in the comment section, whether or not you are comfortable making mistakes. Are you comfortable with who you are and the relationship you have with yourself? All those kind of things I'm always interested to hear. So make sure to drop a comment down there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.